Hello again, everyone. This is Gilmer, and this is episode 21 of my Let's Play Grand Campaign War in the East. I'm playing as the Soviets, and if you notice anything different, it's because I am using Bandicam. And the reason I'm using Bandicam is because XSplit, well, two reasons. XSplit, one reason, the first reason with XSplit was uh, when I process the AI turn, my screen goes black several times during the AI turn, and when it does that, XSplit puts up a graphic that says "be right back," which in my opinion it shouldn't really do. The second reason that I am going with Bandicam over XSplit is because XSplit wants you to buy a subscription and you pay a certain amount each month, and I don't want to be 2 or 3 years down the line having spent $200 $250 on a subscription and not really actually owning a license. And with Bandicam you can buy the software and own the license, so to speak, and there's not any extra charges, unless I'm sure that if it's a major update that they probably expect you to pay something, but until that time we're going to go with Bandicam, and I have tested it out a couple of times and it's worked pretty well. It's worked as well as I expected it to. So we're going to do episode 21 with Bandicam and see what we can get out of it, and see if there is any issues that I need to worry about while doing it. Now, I want to move some factories out of Leningrad because I don't necessarily know that Leningrad is going to survive. Well, wait a minute. Why is it? It's not pulling it up. When I have it in this mode, it pulls it up, but when I have it in the other mode, it doesn't. I don't know especially why that is, but we are going to go with it. Let's see if there are any other towns that I am really concerned about. This is Rzhev. I want to get that right. And we're not in rail transport mode, so let's go ahead and get back into rail transport mode. Kaluga. Yes. A lot, actually. They have two armaments production companies or factories. I'm hoping that, well, there's one right there as well. I'm hoping that, I think I've already moved Odessa. Which is good, because if I do a hasty withdrawal from there, I don't want to be stuck with some industry there. Kirovgrad or Kirovograd has some industry I want to get out of there. Nope. And I'm really impressed with Bandicam, to be honest, what I've seen of it. And I know a lot of people use Bandicam, so I am going to be using it as well, and we will see if it works well for me. I hope it does, because I've already bought it and you can't get a refund, so there is that. So that's unmovable, immovable. We'll go this way with him. A lot of units. A lot of needed units. We'll make sure that they get to the front as quickly as possible. So anyway, in my last episode, it wasn't that bad of an episode in the sense of not very many bad things happened, but the one thing that was somewhat concerning me is Leningrad is pretty much cut off from any help, outside help. Those are new units. And that kind of concerns me, but since we've moved out all useful factories, I'm not as concerned about it, except for the units that are stuck there. I hope that we can, keep Leningrad and keep those units and use those units to tie people up. Somebody on one of my videos, or on the last video, actually said I need to kind of see if I can't pocket some Russians in the south. So that's one of the things that I am going to do, is take a look and see if there's a way to pocket the Russians in the south, which would be a huge help. I don't think that I would be able to keep them pocketed, but it would help in the sense of they would have to slow down so that they could take care of the pocket and make sure that they got everybody out of the pocket. So it's definitely something to look into. A lot of units over here. I'm going to leave those there for now. They just came online, so they're not really ready. We'll click them to refit. Yeah. So we got a number of units coming up, hopefully, to help. Here's a couple. I want to get these. Let's see. I want to get them there. Get these units. Okay, so as you can see, I have actually gotten some units up here. And we'll just see if we can't hold them off. And down here, there were a couple of places where I was very concerned about my HQs, but I think the thing that you have to understand when the AI is playing its turn is that you don't see all of the units. They've got a fog of war on, and you're watching the game from their side with fog of war on, so you don't see all of the units that I have on the field. So I think that some of these HQs that looked very exposed aren't as exposed as I thought they were, which is good for me. And I'm sure that the other side knows. Now this group is exposed. I don't want them there. We'll move him up. We'll move them over. Move him back behind the river. So as you can see, that they still have some strong units. They definitely have strong units. I really don't want to leave my fortified region there, but I might not be given a choice. I really want to get my checker defense really going. Another thing I like about Bandicam is there's an actual running counter on the recording, so you can see how many minutes you have left if you want to time it. I don't know that there's an actual timer that will cut off your video at whatever time, but it's nice to have it up there so that I'm not constantly looking at the clock trying to do some math in my head to see if I'm over my limit or not. And that's just a personal limit that I've given myself. It's not because of anything, due to the software, previous software, or this software, and it's not due to anything other than I think 30 minutes is a good time limit for an episode, and then anything beyond that, it's a little pushing it, and that's my personal feeling, because when I go and I watch Let's Plays all the time on YouTube, and 30 minutes is a good, nice, you can, even if you watch it in the morning, you can watch one episode, a full episode, before work even, because I get up fairly early. And so, 30 minutes is not a huge investment of time. When it gets to be an hour, that's when I find that I tend to, there's a chance of me turning it off or saving it to watch it later, which even if I watch it later, it's still kind of, sometimes I forget to watch it later. And so 30 minutes was my personal time limit that I was thinking would be a good time limit for people to watch. And it seems to work for me as well. So I want to make sure, I just don't feel like, if they come this way, I can't stop them. Not like I want to stop them. And maybe if somebody's asking me if I'm recording, I don't know if that's coming across on the screen, but I don't. Let me just reply real quick, and if the screen goes off, it's because of that. But anyway, back, and I don't really know what I was talking about, but I really am concerned about this area. And so anyway, I don't know if the checkerboard would work better or not with this. Let me just cancel that out just to make sure that I'm not recording that bottom bar, because it's trying to inform me that I have a message. But anyway, so I just don't know. I mean, look at these numbers that they have for power. That doesn't look that bad. The 27 looks kind of bad, and the 23. But then they have 7s and 6s. The 14, yeah, that's pretty bad, but that's something that won't stop hardly anybody. And then I have up here, I really probably need to do some reconnaissance just to make sure. Maybe, I don't know if it'll. I just want to make sure that, if I start moving some of these units, that, that it's because there are not any troops there. It looks like he's got a huge set of troops right here in this little area, so I'm going to move some troops down and then maybe some troops up and see if I can't somehow slow down this German juggernaut, and then hopefully the weather will get here and that will save my hide a little bit, because I don't want to lose. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be upset if I lose, because this will be my first playthrough of my Grand Campaign, but I don't want to lose. I'm hardwired not to lose or not want to lose. And I think a lot of people are that way, but obviously the objective on these games is to show people what's out there, let them see if, give them a chance to see if they might like it, give them a chance to understand the whole process of how Matrix does their games. Usually if it's on Steam, you can buy it straight from Matrix and get 2 keys, and one of them you can use on Steam and one of them you can use as a DRM free copy of the game with nothing running in the background, no Steam, no connecting to the programmer or the seller of the product. There's none of that. On the DRM free copy, you are asked one time for your serial number, and then that's it. And you won't ever be asked again unless you buy an expansion or something like that. Sometimes you're asked for it at that point, but if I had bought War in the East 5 years ago and was playing it on the DRM free, not the Steam one, and I put in the serial number, and 5 years from now I could turn it on, and as long as it was patched and my system worked correctly, it would fire up without asking me to sign in or for my serial number or anything like that. So that's what you get from buying directly from Matrix. Now you can buy from Steam, and sometimes Steam has a sale and the sale isn't on the Matrix forums, but if you buy it from Steam, you're only going to get that 1 key. You can't at that point, after buying the Steam license, go to Matrix and request a DRM free license number. They won't give it to you. It has to be buy it from Matrix first, and then they give a Steam copy to you. And a couple of people have gotten tripped up over that, and I've even been tripped up once over that when I saw Rise of Prussia, I think, on Gamer's Gate, and I bought it from there, and then I was trying to get the Steam key or the DRM key or whatever, and they were like, no, you only have the 1 key. So that might be an issue for some people on some of these larger price games. When the other thing I wanted to point out, and a lot of people ask, where can I get this game? You can get it at Matrix Games. You just do a search in Google for Matrix Games. It should pull it up, and then go to their store, and then you can buy the game. And the main thing you probably want to think about is War in the East is pretty expensive still. War in the West is expensive, and War in the Pacific Admiral's Edition is expensive. So what I suggest to people is wait until November, late November. Matrix has their holiday sale, their Christmas sale, if you will, and it starts in late November and usually runs through January, the first week of January, the second week of January, and you can get these titles off 40 to 50% off. So that's just something to think about if you're going to buy these titles. So anyway, that was kind of a big ramble, but I thought it was very important because, as I have mentioned many times before, this Let's Play is for to get people to know about these games. And one of the things about getting them to know about these games is describing, the how you sell, how you buy the game, how you acquire a copy, what kind of DRM does it have, can you get it on Steam, those types of things, and people want to know that. And I'm definitely willing to let everyone know the particulars if they need it, because those are all the very exact things that I would have wanted to know if I was buying the game. Now, he said there was a way, one of my viewers said there was a way to pocket some stuff down here. And I'm just trying to figure out where he was saying. He said it was in the south. And I'm just wondering, because sometimes what happens is there are more units around than you think there are. Well, we didn't see any, but I'm trying to think if he's thinking this group or something along down here. Maybe. But as you can see, I don't know that I'm set up. Why is that red? Why is he red? Anyway, I don't know that I see what he's talking about. I don't know that I can break through here, and I don't know that, if he goes any further here, I might be able to do it. As a matter of fact, I want to move that guy back. So I don't know. This is actually, I'll get him over there because that's where his, and then I guess I'm going to where did I put that? I guess. You always want to make sure that your units are in the command radius. And it's not always possible to get that, but I try to do it as much as possible. That's rough. That's clear. That's clear. I can't remember if I was putting these units kind of like this to kind of do a checkerboard defense, or if I was moving them to the front and that was as far as I could get it. I think I'm going to leave them there for now. So as you can see, I've got a pretty good amount of power in these units. I wonder if he's talking about here. But see, that unit is a 6. Has a 6 power, ostensibly. I don't necessarily know that I can blast through that, even with these 2 groups of units coming up like this. I could probably push him back a little, but I don't know if I could. I don't know if I'm at the point where I could actually do some units, but some pockets, because you pretty much have to be able to blast a hole 3 hexes wide at each point where you're breaking through the line. So if I pocketed this group or any of these, well, let's say here, I would have to blast a line 3 hexes wide this way and blast a line 3 hexes wide that way to make sure that it would work, because if you have any zone of control that's affecting you, you're in trouble. Maybe he's talking about this. Because I think maybe I could possibly. Let's see. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know if that was what Thom was talking about or if it was somewhere else, but it's looks like it could be this one. And I'm just wondering. Damn. I probably messed that up. If that's what you were talking about, Thom. If that's what you were talking about, Thom, I'm sure I messed that up. I was kind of hoping I could get that HQ to retreat or route. But I think I messed it up, so. Gonna move him here. Yeah, see. Just. Let's try it one more time. Oh well. If that was it, then I screwed it up, I'm sure, so I apologize for that. But I did get one of their units to retreat. So I mean, I'm to the point where I can move some of their units back, and maybe I can get some of these HQs to route and mess up their HQs a little bit. Don't know. Hope so. Hope I'm getting to that point because I really want to be to that point. I really want to get to the point where I'm pushing them back a little bit and having a little bit of success. And so far I haven't had much, but it's September 4th. Maybe this next week, maybe September 11th, we'll see the sun. I mean the sun. Yeah, see the sun go behind the clouds and see a little bit of rain, and then maybe we will, stop these bastards in their tracks. Or maybe I don't think I doubt he's thinking of this, because I don't think there's any way I could encircle any of those guys. So, Thom, if you're out there and you leave a message, I'll promise I'll read it. And if you don't laugh at me for screwing it up, if this was what you were talking about, that'll be fine too. So anyway, this is 30 minutes. We're right at 30 minutes. So I am going to call this episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching. What was this, episode 21? I can't remember. But yeah, tell me what you think about the new recording software, how well it did. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.